Let me show you something. The median salary in Washington metro area is around $76,000.
Coach Michael and I are going to provide you with some lesser known insights into the dynamics of the job market. We'll also share our insights and experience in terms of navigating this climate for a successful job search. Here are several things that we'll touch on. What you may want to know about us and what makes us uniquely positioned to help you succeed. Some of the hidden challenges of the job market you'll want to understand. How we can help you overcome those challenges. Our guarantees and potential next steps. As of this recording, we've been helping professionals like you find jobs they love for over 15 years. Our team of certified professional resume writers and certified career coaches holds a 5-star rating on Yelp, counting the hidden reviews, Facebook, and Google, as well as an A rating at Angie and an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau. But don't take our word for it. Below this video, you can find 18 written and 5 video testimonials of professionals we've helped find a new job. Our median or average client finds a new job at 19% increased salary and gets that job only 8 weeks from resume finalization. Our clients are enjoying fulfilling careers at places like Microsoft, the World Bank, Meta, the Senior Executive Service of the federal government, the AARP, Amazon, Hilton, Google, Apple, American Express, Accenture, Bank of America, Marriott, and thousands of other employers. We're the only company in our industry that maintains a board of advisors consisting of senior HR executives. And we keep on top of the most recent trends in hiring. The Yes Inner Circle consists of current and former clients whom you can network with. These include hundreds of senior and C-suite executives who can at least provide you with invaluable guidance, if not introductions or even offers. But here's the thing, our services are not for everyone. The best candidates to work with us are proactive professionals who can take ownership and implement the processes we recommend. For example, we have a framework for writing a resume called the Power of 6. It is called that because a team of 6 people will collaborate on your resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn profile if you choose to have all 3. These include your resume interviewer, resume drafter, resume editor, resume post-editor, your client success manager, and you. No AI resume writing tool can dynamically engage you with a team of resume writing experts who produce resumes that typically land in the top 2% pile of those who are invited to interview. Now, for a behind-the-scenes view of what is involved in a successful job search, join me in watching a brief training by our Chief Strategy Coach, Michael Akbar.
38% of job opportunities are not even advertised. They are in what is known as the hidden job market. Also, of the remaining 62%, as many as 22% are potential opportunities where recruiters find you. So when you limit yourself to applying for jobs with a resume, you are really aiming at only 40% of opportunities that could potentially be available to you. We regularly interview clients who had a new job or get promoted. The number I shared with you is consistent with what we have learned from our own base of over 5,000 clients. These percentages may vary slightly from one industry or a position type to another, but not by much, at least according to the polling of our own clients over the past 10 years. Now, let's take a closer look. Okay, so on this chart, purple indicates potential opportunities, blue potential interviews, and green potential offers. As I mentioned earlier, when you just apply for jobs using your resume, you are aiming at only 40% of opportunities. If there are 100 current openings that match you, we estimate a potential 3 interview out of the 40 that are visible to you and for which you can apply. This number may sound really low, but remember that you could be set aside not because of your qualification or the quality of your resume, but also reasons beyond your control, like geography, seniority, and other unspoken filters. At the interview stage, you could be competing with as many as 7 other shortlisted candidates. Assuming that all the shortlisted candidates are equally qualified, the probability of an offer to you will be only 12.5%. Of course, I should emphasize that these numbers are averages and can also vary somehow from one role and industry to another. Now, let's look at the same scenario when the candidate is using a resume written by our team. First, let me share with you a simple principle that you can apply again and again in your career to advancement of your goal. In order for people to buy your ideas, proposals, promote you, or in this case, hire you, you need to significantly increase the certainty that they are making the right decision and that you or your ideas are the solution to their needs. Now, One way to look at this is to look at certainty on a spectrum measured from 0 to 10, where 0 indicates they have no confidence, and 10 means they are 100% confident that you or your ideas are the answer to their prayers. Now, as you know, the human brain is complicated, and even in a simplified way of looking at this, at its decision making, we are looking at least two different measures: logical certainty and emotional certainty. Now, whether you write your own resume or get help from AI or a professional resume writer, the focus is typically on using language to improve the logical certainty. But we know that's not how the human brain works. So we apply psychologically persuasive techniques using language patterns based on neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotic writing to also move the needle on the emotional side. Now remember, you are still looking at 40% of all the opportunities that can be available to you. But we have very slightly moved the needle, helping that resume to be more frequently placed on the top 2% by a human reviewer. So as you can see here, not only the number of interviews slightly increases, but also simultaneously, the interview success rate is also slightly improving from 12.5% to 15% because we have used the content to pre-frame the interviewer's mind on both logical and emotional level. So what's the problem then? This may be the time to tell you the story of Gail, one of our clients. A friend Gail knew at a Fortune 500 company called her and told Gail about this amazing opportunity at her company. Not only that, but the friend had also even spoken to the hiring manager on behalf of Gail and persuaded the manager to interview Gail. All Gail needed to do was to submit her perfect resume through HR. So she did, and within 24 hours, she got a rejection email. Just think about it. The hiring manager already knows about her and wants to interview her, and yet she was rejected by HR. Shocked by what had just happened to her, Gail tells the friend who escalated the situation with the hiring manager, who in turn asked the HR specialist what had happened, only to be told, sheepishly, that with the number of candidates she was dealing with and the number of requisitions she was working on, Gail's resume simply fell through the cracks. Of course, in Gail's case, thanks to her inside connection, she's actually now happily employed in that role and having the time of her life. But you and I may not be as lucky. I mean, have you recently tried to apply for a job advertised, let's say on LinkedIn? In some cases, a job gets 200 to 300 submissions. Your resume, if it survives the ATS and everything else, still has to go through the weakest link in the chain, an overworked and underqualified employee. What would you do if you were in his situation? Well, I know what I will do. I'll go through as many resumes as I can to pick the 7 or 8, which seems to be a good match based on my limited understanding of what the hiring manager is looking for. As for the rest of those resumes, well, good luck. If your perfect resume happened to be the 9th one, not only you are out of luck, but you will also probably never know what happened to you. Does that sound familiar? Now, knowing the typical audience for this training, you are probably one step ahead of me, asking, but isn't this guy being replaced by this guy? Absolutely. And guess what? That would be a great help to the employer. But as you are soon to find out, it will bring no benefits to the job applicant. If anything, it will make things even harder for you. As far as your interests are concerned, this is a broken system where the moment you submit your application, you have lost control of the process, no matter how perfect your resume is, and no matter if Bubba is looking at it or AI. Now, are there any improvements we can make to this broken system? When we interview a client during the process of writing their resume, we are also collecting additional information for building a search engine optimized LinkedIn profile. Having a search engine optimized LinkedIn profile can enable recruiters to find you, and in that way, you can increase the pool of potential job opportunities from 40 to 62%. Also remember that these days, LinkedIn is the first place employers go to check you out when they get your resume. Plus, when you optimize your LinkedIn profile, not only have you increased the number of potential opportunities, but also you could slightly improve your interview success rate. That's because in addition to the content of your marketing material, the referral from a seasoned and proactive recruiter can positively, albeit slightly, bias the employer toward you prior to the interview. But a 15% interview success rate is still not very competitive when the employer is considering 6 to 8 other highly qualified candidates. So far, we talked about the limitation of using your perfect resume and how optimizing your LinkedIn profile can slightly improve the odds in your favor. By the way, Just because a perfect resume and an optimized LinkedIn profile have limited effectiveness compared to the other strategies we will discuss does not mean you shouldn't have them, as they are the building blocks for what we will be discussing next. Now, let's add our interview technology to this formula. The same number of opportunities at 62%, the same number of interviews, and yet the interview success rate goes from 15% to 27%. That's almost doubled and is better than 1 offer out of 4 interviews. This is happening because you will leverage your understanding of the 7 fundamental needs and learn to use the psychology of influence to impress the interviewer at the subconscious and emotional levels. By discovering and honoring these needs, not only are you increasing your chance by increasing emotional as well as logical certainty in you, but you will also discover any concerns they may have about you and use the technique to coach the interviewer to overcome their own concern. As the icing on the cake, during the interview, you will also learn about factors you can later use during your salary negotiation to maximize your compensation. Almost every client achieves this level of success after studying the training material and a single mock interview. As you will learn later, increasing the emotional certainty by a skilled practitioner of interview Aikido can even compensate for a moderate level of logical uncertainty. That is, you do not have to be the most qualified candidate in order to get the offer. Now let's take another look at this chart. We talked about how you can almost double your interview success rate. The only catch here is that you're still limiting yourself to 62% of potential opportunities in the market. These are the same opportunities that are visible to everyone else and are being competed for by other qualified candidates. To find out what else you can do to drastically increase your success rate, let's take a look with jobs in the hidden job market. The position is not advertised. The scope may not even be firmly established. There is little or no competition. A high degree of trust pre-exists because of an introduction. The scope of compensation is more negotiable. You saw earlier that by leveraging Interview Aikido, you can increase the interview success rate to 27% when you're exposed to only the 62% of job opportunities that are also visible to your competition. But the last are example of opportunities in the hidden job market. Here's another quick example. I had a new position created for me, thanks to their helping and coaching. Well, all the credit goes to Reshma for taking action on the strategies we discussed in this course. So now let's take a look at our chart, including the final strategy you can use to significantly improve and speed up landing your dream job. This is where, with career strategy and networking support, you are opening up the field to include the less crowded hidden job market, the other 38% of jobs that you can only access through networking and introduction. But there's a very important point that I want to make sure is not lost here. You can apply the same advanced techniques not only to the jobs in the hidden job market, but also to the jobs that are advertised. In that case, while your competition's resume is collecting dust in the HR, you are shooting the breeze with the hiring manager. Because using the Career Aikido framework, you will build and grow a network of advocates that will make introductions for you. Because your competitors will not have the same tools and strategies available to them, you will find that for some positions, you will be competing with fewer candidates. You will also find that most of the interviews are going to be less formal and more relaxed because you get to them through friendly introductions. That is another reason that the interview success rates are even higher. In fact, by leveraging Interview Aikido, you can even beat the internal candidate. Because this proven system has been so successful, we are able to provide a job offer guarantee with the program. But we will also be there to support you through salary and benefit negotiations. Lastly, the strategies you will learn will become lifelong skills that will enable you to repeat this success and get new jobs and promotions through the remainder of your career, in most cases without any additional professional assistance. So here's a summary of the benefits when we go after job opportunities, including the hidden job market, using strategic networking and career strategy. A wide range of opportunities, less competition, less formal and friendlier interviews, more flexible range of benefits and compensation, negotiation support, job offer guarantee, and lifelong career advancement skills. As we showed in this training, you can take some very affordable and incremental steps to improve your job search efforts. While this training provided you with information and insight based on our extensive experience in the field, at the end of the day, you are the best judge of what is the right strategy for you. You ask about return on investment. It's really important that you work with A+ rated company, be it us or someone else. Let me show you something. The median salary in Washington metro area is around $76,000. So let's use that in our example. Our latest survey showed that our clients on average get 19% more in their offers. That is $14,440 a year, or a monthly increase of $1,203. Now, just for the sake of argument, let's say that you went with a company that gave you as much as $200 in discount. But because of the quality of their work and their support, you ended up getting a job a month later than our average of 8 weeks. You saved $200, you even got a job, but the cost of that 1 month delay will be $1,003 less in your pocket. Not to mention that under time pressure, sometimes people are forced to settle for less than ideal jobs. Now, sometimes I hear people saying, well, how much do I have to invest to get that kind of return? The monthly payment for our services, depending on what you're getting, will be in the range of $5 a month to, at the very high end, including resume, cover letter, LinkedIn profile, interview coaching, as well as strategy coaching, networking, and negotiation support, still less than $30 a month. That is $1 a day investment in your career. Not forever, just for around 8 weeks. Since our clients typically get their new offer in 2 months, that makes your total out-of-pocket something in the range of $10 to $60. Because once you start your new job, you will basically recover your investment from the increase in your salary.
Wow. As I mentioned earlier, not everyone has the same goals or needs the same solutions. Bring your goals to your consultation, and your client success advisor, who has worked with over 1,000 other professionals, will help you come up with the best strategies for your resume, cover letter, LinkedIn profile, career strategy, interview prep, and anything else you may need. I hope I get to work with you as an interview coach.